Talk is cheap. I'm not ready, but I'm making my plans and working my plan. Do you have a plan? Are you working your plan? Let me share with you a little bit of what my plan is. Come on along. Hey everybody, Real World Prepper. Sad state of affairs here, buddy. Sad state of affairs. Well, this was once a pond, and now it is the La Brea tar pits. So, going forward, you can see all the tall grass. I mean, it went to, at one point, you guys saw it in some earlier videos, I'm sure, but, you know, plan B, I suppose, we're going to have to figure something out. I probably mentioned it, but I'll mention it again. I'm gonna probably see about getting this thing dug out and lined properly. I don't know what that entails, given my particular area, soil condition. I don't know anything about it personally, so we'll employ someone who does, their wisdom and expertise. I've got a couple of people I can call on. One that's a family friend that I don't know personally, and then one that's a guy I know from through work, and that does this kind of stuff. And the guy that I know is he does this kind of stuff in addition to just dirt work in general. The guy that my family knows, my in-laws in fact, it's somebody who is a pond, lake, stream, brook, whatever guy, so he's probably more knowledgeable. But I know that these trees all along this side of the levee are going to have to come out. All this growth along here is going to have to be thinned out. These trees right here are up on a ridge. I think it's going to have to be built up here, dug out here, and the rest of the contour goes naturally. It'll dig it out this way. I don't know if it's anything we're going to do right away. Money is a big factor right now, as I have expressed before. We're a little bit, I don't know, for lack of a better term, we're over budget from when we moved. You know, we'd planned, of course we knew what the cost of the house and everything was going to be, and we had planned for, you know, certain expenditures. We'd kind of put a buffer, I guess, in there, and there were some things we had to do, windows and some things that weren't planned. So it kind of ate into our budget. Frankly, the budget on the windows probably would have been enough to take care of this sad thing here. But that was not the case. But we're going to get there. I definitely want to have a stocked pond to go along with the chickens that we're going to raise. And of course, this is just the beginning of the chicken coop setup. Shared that in another video. We're gonna put another coop or two in there, maybe one twice as big as that one, or maybe two more about that size. We'd like to run about 10, 12 chickens altogether. Eventually down here in this bottom, I'm gonna do, we're gonna do goats, hopefully for, you know, we'd like to do milk goats is what we'd like to do. And also, they can keep some of this stuff cut, you know. And this corral is going to be a pretty good sized one. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it yet, but I think some of that wire fencing on posts that you can move and set up, so we could spread it around, move it if we needed to. And then of course a big garden on the other side of the house, which will go in the spring. I'll start laying the infrastructure for that as it gets cooler. It's actually a very mild day today. It's been super hot, and it's forecasted to be really hot over the next week or two around here. And so it's just nice right now, this very day. But you know, so just a work in progress. We're trying to make this a little homestead, you know. It's not going to feed an army. Frankly, it's not even going to feed me and my family 100%, but it will be a nice supplement to grocery store runs, and if everything shuts down, you know, a scenario that we all talk about and plan for, those types of scenarios, then along with our preps and stocks and things that we've put away and that we stack, so to speak, you know, hopefully if we can get a sustainable, you know, animals, milk, eggs, meat, veggies, fruits. We're gonna do fruit trees too. Also, we've already planted 2 fig trees, and we're gonna do some other stuff, some other fruit trees. But you know, between all of that stuff, hopefully, I mean, obviously I'd like to get it to the point where we could sustain ourselves. It would be a lean existence from what I anticipate being able for us to keep up with. But I'd like to have it to where we could expand on it if we needed to with what we've got, meaning, you know, the chickens have the capacity for them to breed more and more chickens once we get them. The goats may be the same thing, so that if we had to start relying solely on what we can produce here, in the garden too, we've got some areas that we would and could expand if we need to. You know, just trying to get it all together. I'd like to be self-sustainable anyway, even while the world's still turning. Solar too. We've got a lot of great sun up here on the on this other side of the what used to be the pond. You know, so there's a lot of area for solar. We're down here in a shady part of the property here, and of course the property goes back through these woods too, so this is all just wooded stuff, and my property does go back a good ways back here, all along here, all along here, all along here, and back there, and about even with the chicken coops, it goes, it's kind of a straight line back that direction. And so anyway, it goes back a good ways, but lots of plans, lots of plans. I hope you guys are laying your plans. We see all this stuff going on, you know, you guys know, politically, spiritually in the world, the corruption in government, in business, in people's hearts. You know, we see what's happening, guys. I know you do. And so I hope you are laying your plans and preparations. I really, me personally, I'm hoping to get this thing at least working. It may not be up to the point I'd like to have it at, but I want it to be at least working. A working homestead, if you will, by this time next year. You know, if not sooner. Because frankly, I don't think we have much longer past the next election. It will be a real treat and a 4-year bonus, I think, if potentially anyway, if Donald Trump is reelected. That man is not the answer. He's not the be-all end-all, but by a long shot. But he's better than any other choice right now, as bad as he may seem. And he's not seeming real great these days to me. But I do believe that once he's out of office, be it 2020 or 2024, that's when you're going to start to see everything fall off. You're going to start to see your ability to get things. Obviously, guns and ammunition being a big part. I thought I turned that off, but obviously that. But I think there's going to be a lot of things coming down the pike where your independence and your ability to be independent are going to be greatly diminished. And, you know, in the bigger picture, I think that we're going to potentially see, and I've said it, and I'll just go on and say it, I don't think our system is going to sustain itself. I think it's going to implode financially, if not, it's going to be financial regardless, a financial collapse, an economic collapse of this system that we live in. You know, we allegedly are the greatest economy, you know, in the world. And so when we go down, the whole world goes down. Or frankly, if big chunks of the world start to go down, we're going to be affected as well. But certainly if another calamity takes place, such as EMP, or we go to war, or somebody wars against us in a major way, you know, it's going to cost, any of this stuff's going to cause financial collapse on top of that. So I think there's going to be a day when you're going to wake up and you're not going to have anywhere to go. You're not going to have a job to go to. You're not going to have a store to go buy stuff from. You're not going to have money to even do that with, even if you could. So I hope you're making your plans. I'm trying to make mine. Just want to share a little bit of what I'm doing with you, or what I'm trying to do, trying to put together. You know, if it fell apart today, I'm not ready. You know, I could go for a little while with what we've got stacked, but I got no way to sustain, you know, by myself. That's why community building is important, as much of a long shot as that may be. Anyway, I just wanted to ramble on a little bit, just looking at my sad little pond. Thought I'd jump in here and say something to you guys, and it led to this rambling you just heard. So thanks for listening, and as always, God bless you. I appreciate you joining me here on The Real World Prepper, and we will see you next time.